Didn't start.
Good.
Oh, yes, it has. Okay. Right. Thanks, everyone. I'm sure Sarah is still with us. Yes. Okay, right. Well, Orbit Select Group. Apologies, Ian.
No councillors, but we have had apologies from Eddie Hall and our environmental officer, Rob.
Yeah. Right. Lovely. Presume there's no declaration. Oh, here's Helen as well. No
Apologies, Chair.
Thanks, Helen. No? Okay, right. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? Is everybody happy with the minutes? Yeah, okay. Will somebody approve them? Yes, thanks, Phil. Okay. Right, I'm trying to keep these in order for you.
Don't worry, I'll sort them out, honestly.
Okay, right, Ian, if you can zap quickly through.
Yeah, the first one, I'll just read the action numbers if that's okay. Number 31 relates to quotes for picnic benches. That relates to Clark, so if you're happy, I've had no update, we'll defer till
she's back.
Meeting.
Yeah.
Number 42 is environmental vision plan, which is ongoing with our environmental officer, Rob.
Yeah.
Number 62 is a budget proposal form, which is the subject of one of the agenda items tonight. Number 63 is also on the agenda, another a bee-friendly streets, which is another budget proposal form. Number 64, budget. Regarding the budget, to research ideas of out-of-school activities for children aged between 11 and 14, and that's Councillor Nelson. Do you have any updates on that, Helen?
Sorry, no.
No. Right. Ongoing?
No,
It is ongoing.
We're too late for budget proposals now anyway, so it's something we'll have to look at for next year.
That one.
We'll sign it off for now.
66, another budget proposal, which is...
So that's done?
Yes.
Completed?
It is. 71. This is again with Robert, so erecting 3 signposts. So
right, I know that's it. Or he's been looking at costs for signs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. 73, Wildwood Authority to plant hedges, and again that's in hand with Chris Evans,
yeah. Still, I think in consultation with City Council to try and get an agreement on what they will accept in terms of some sort of barrier.
And then 74, again it's Chris Evans, but also Councillor Nelson, and that's looking for an update following planning permission for the gazebo in Clyde. Is there any update, Helen, on that one?
Yes, I think sorry, I might have. Oh, sorry, the echo. Yes, there is. I thought I'd conveyed it, but maybe I might have not. So I'll put this on email, Ian. I have discussed with Carrie. Yeah, so they've got planning permission, they've got the funding they need, and they now need us to give our funding to them.
Okay.
So I'll put this in writing because they've raised considerable extra amounts of funding, and Chris Evans has put some in as well. Okay. So they're at a position now of needing to move forward. I'll put this in an email. I think I might have mistaken. I'm sure I mentioned it to Carrie several weeks.
Okay, thank you.
But Paul, what do we need from them to get the money transferred?
We need a recommendation to council, I think, because I don't think that's been approved yet, is it?
Well, God, it probably was way back when the original, but to not, I mean, it was agreed in principle that 6,000 would be for Clyde Gazebo, but if we can maybe get that on the agenda for December.
Yes.
And then hopefully
I was going to suggest, can we make a recommendation now on the back of this action?
Yes.
So we can go to December council and as a recommendation from the committee?
Yeah. Are we all happy with that? That we put it to full council, that we transfer that funding across?
Okay.
Thank
Then we
you,
What-
Carrie.
Off the budget.
So, yeah, and then what I'd need then is just something from them saying what their bank account details are, and then I can pay it.
I'll do an email now, Paul, and I'll include obviously Carrie, yourself and Ian,
Yep.
and I'll include Richard Owen, who's the chair of the committee, you know, the Friends of Klein, and I'll put a little summary in, and then I'll ask for bank details, and you can liaise with Richard and the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, Helen.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The next one, 75, is also closed.
Yeah.
And we have 76 is also closed, which is an agenda item. 77 is closed, an agenda item. 78, we're waiting for a new date from Keep Wales Tidy. I have no update on that.
We do.
Oh.
We have a date. It's Friday, the 3rd of December. Does that make sense?
That's good.
No, Friday isn't a 3rd. 6th, sorry, Friday the 6th of December. It will be at Blackpill from 11 until 1.
Can I close that now?
Yes, so that is,
Close.
yeah, closed.
Thank you, Chair. Right, then we have number 79, obtaining signage quotes. That's in hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Paul.
part of, what's being done.
Number 80, provide a map of fruit trees.
Deferred to April 2020.
Okay, May, but if we prefer April to May, April.
Oh, yeah, well, I've got 80 down here.
Could we off the AGM and things? But May, April.
April.
April's.
April, it's the beginning of the new financial year.
Now, the next one is the Males Grass Birch. I don't know, I was meant to email you, I'm not sure if I did, and copy Robin about liaising over wildflower planting. Did I send you an email of that? I did. Yeah.
I think you've met with them, haven't you? You're on mute.
I can't tell you talking to me.
Sorry, yes. Yes,
Yes,
you met with them about the planting, didn't you?
Yes, so we've done the bulb planting, so that's all sorted. That will be
Brilliant.
completed now. I might need a couple of extra, I can take it from my own budget if need be. We just felt we needed a few more daffs. But that's minor stuff and I can probably fund myself. The wildflower stuff is also all in hand and I need to send instructions because that's all, I spoke to Ash.
Yeah.
That's completed.
So done, yes.
And,
Liaison is done.
there was one to me, which was arranging a date for Gardens Quest in Town, which the chair kindly did.
Yes, done.
Balance for you is 83 to provide a copy of the Future Generations Commissioner's procurement policy. For Paul and Rob. Did you send that one?
I haven't sent it. I did speak to Rob. Then I was told in work, oh, you might need to check with Derek. He's okay. So I haven't done that because it's a really bloody substantial document. So I've got a meeting with Derek tomorrow in the morning. So it's on my list of things to raise whether I am able to. I've mentioned that to Rob when I met him the other day. So I can hopefully get permission tomorrow. Fingers crossed, Ian.
Thanks.
The next one, 84, to check with Swansea Council about the costs of leasing an electric van.
Paul's just said the guy's not back until Wednesday.
Okay.
In hand.
85 is closed.
86 is closed.
86 is closed.
87 is closed.
It's the cats and kittens have got that.
The cats have got the shed.
The last one is number 88, which is the hedge in the skate park. And that is being.
Well, that's the same. That's the
Shall I close first?
yeah.
Thank you. And that includes the actions.
Well done. Brilliant. Okay, right. Paul, budget monitoring.
Thanks. I did try earlier sharing this spreadsheet, but it didn't work. So I'll just talk through it quickly so we can get it done quickly. There's not a great deal of expenditure again this month, only just about £1,000 out of the budget over the course of the year. But I know there are things which are coming in in October, the wildflowers and the bulbs.
Yeah.
There is a small underspend on the bulbs budget as well. So Helen, if you want the council to fund that, just ask Ash to let me know what's needed.
Yeah, and it's only a very small amount, I think, to be honest.
Okay, and there's
you.
obviously other things then, like the Green Heroes. They're all in hand, and things will start being spent as Rob gets quotes and we order and install things.
And hopefully the last line, the Klein Gardens gazebo, will soon be moving out.
Yeah,
Before
I'll be
Christmas,
really glad when that happens, to be honest.
Yeah. I know. It sort of sat there for a long time, so it'd be brilliant to see it finally on its way. And
gonna sit. Sorry.
You know, hopefully Castle Woods and Washing House Brook, they are in hand, things are in motion. It's just getting them to the point where actually we can get approval for the work. So that'd be 2 big chunks of money that would be off the budget. So it'd be great if we can get them done. I don't think there's anything else. As you say, most of them are in hand one way or another, work's being done. Sarah?
Yes, Chair. We've got a meeting, Rebecca and I have got a meeting with Sean James, who's in charge of the project for Washing House Brook, to go through the woods. Next, I think it's the Thursday after next. I have took the liberty of sending Rob an email in case he wants to come along, because we have money and he might want to, you know, say, because it's on Mumbles Community Council land, what he thinks of what's going on as well. So
So that's Washing House Brook week on Thursday.
Yes, I think it's a week. Yeah,
Right. I had a sort of brief update from Will that he's working on a business plan. So hopefully the Castle Woods paths are also working their way through the system. Fantastic. Thanks for that, Sarah. That'd be really good to get that work ongoing. I actually walked through the woods the other day and was aware of the fact that there are parts of the paths which are very difficult to negotiate. So it'd be brilliant to get that done. Right, okay, I don't think I have...
Sorry, I've had my hand up for a bit, but it's only a very minor question.
From the last one.
No, sorry, I'm so sorry. No, I'm going back now. So Paul, how much was left in the, can you just give me a ballpark figure of, you said it was underspend?
It's about £200.
Okay, yeah. I don't think we need anywhere near that, but
is there any other need for it anywhere? Right, Sarah? You're on mute.
Yes, Rob and Ash suggested we got some more bulbs. We'd have to pick them ourselves because the money's there, but they haven't been ordered from Cash Hardware, and they put some more around the green where they'd started putting it because it's such a big space. So yeah, that would be great if there's any money left over from Mails.
Okay, so maybe then if we put 100 extra in Mails, 100 extra in West Cross. I've not had anything from, I know we've done the work we wanted to do in Oystermouth for this year. So yeah, I'm happy with that. If everyone's happy with that.
Great, thanks, Chair.
Mails and West Cross. Lovely, jolly good. Right, thanks, Paul.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, and as I say, I went through the expenditure. There was nothing that I looked at that looked as though it would be dodgy. So we can tick that off. Right, income. Yeah, lottery grant. That's still being spent, hopefully. Right.
Yes. Yep.
The environmental officer report, has anyone had a chance to look at it? The main thing is trying to get the big Climate Leap working group going. I don't know whether anyone has expressed their interest to Kerry in being part of it, obviously other than myself. Oh, Helen, have you told her? Great.
I mentioned it to Rob, but I don't think I've told Kerry Kerry, but I'm happy to drop her an email, but I have told
Yeah,
Rob.
just if you could confirm with her. Sarah?
I did the same. I said to Rob, but I haven't said to Kerry.
Brilliant. So at least that's us three. And as I say, she may have had feedback from others as well. Because I note from the report that she's actually leading on it now. Helen?
Yes, yes, that's right. Carrie, you know,
Yeah.
I think we said in the full council meeting, didn't we, that about having one person from every committee or from every
That's
ward.
what we're hoping, yes.
Yeah, and I just wonder whether Angela would be someone who'd have a bit of an interest from,
Possibly
you know,
from culture.
because relatively to the selection we've got, I think she's possibly a bit more of a pragmatic.
Mm. Yes, she is Newton, yeah.
So she might be a good person who would play a constructive role.
Well, as I say, I can't force her, but
Will.
yes. Suggest to Kerry that certainly it would be helpful to have someone from Newton.
I'll copy you into this email.
Lovely. Sarah?
It might be worth asking Will, because he's on environment, on, you know, he's on climate change and climate.
With
he's
a
very
city
interested.
council.
Pardon?
That's
The
a
city
good call.
Pardon?
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I said, was that with city council?
With city council.
Yeah.
Good call. I'll
Yeah,
change it to
okay.
Will.
He's
Yeah,
always
I'll
very
get Kerry to have a word with Will and see if he would be happy to come on to that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Fab, thank you. Okay, as I say, I don't know if anybody has read the report, but it's as ever an excellent report. Reminder to everyone, of course, Mumbles Green Heroes is on Tuesday. I was at the Green Fair yesterday, Rob was there on Saturday, a lot of interest, people saying that they want to come along. So with any luck, we should have a good turnout. Phil?
Just apologies. I'm away again next week.
Ah, right. Okay. Right. So at least, well, this is progress. Rob's had 3 replies from schools about the environmental grant. So, you know, 3 out of 7 is almost half of them. So that's great. That's good, and he'll obviously continue to pursue that. As I say, the community, the Keep Wales Tidy launch. Anybody who can possibly get along. Friday the 6th of December, 11 o'clock at Blackpill.
Oh, apologies, Carrie. I've got an operation that day, and at the same time, Tom has got a dentist's appointment.
Oh no!
And it's an important one. It's like because his teeth haven't come through, so I think I'd love to be there, but I do send apologies.
Right, thanks, Helen. Sarah?
I'm funnily enough also at the hospital in the morning.
Like see each other.
Yeah. Environmental meeting. Yeah. Send apologies too.
Okay.
Carrie, what can I do to promote that? Because that's obviously in the ward.
Right. Rob has done a poster for it. I think it was only arranged at the end of last week. So he's got a poster which he's going to get Claire to put out on social media and on the website. So basically, as soon as that comes out, or ask Rob, if you email Rob, ask him to send you a copy and then you can put it out.
Yeah, and I can stick it on the notice board.
Yes, please. Yes. That would be great. Okay, so yeah, if you can spread it round, as I say, as soon as I get the copy of the poster from Rob, we can share it and get it sent out far and wide, and hopefully we'll get a few people coming along for that. Okay, Jubilee Gardens, obviously work is in hand. He's now, he's got a design from the people we contracted, which again, he was showing to people at the Green Fair. So with any luck, he said he'd try and get that sent out to all of you, everyone on the committee tomorrow. So we should be getting that tomorrow. Up and coming events this Saturday, if anyone's available, they're tree planting the trees we got from the Woodland Trust are going to be turned into a wildlife hedge up at the orchard. So if anyone's around on Saturday to go up and help out with that, that would be great. Obviously, we've mentioned Green Heroes. And then they're going to continue with the tree planting on the Thursday, the 5th. And then, as I say, we got litter picking on the 6th. And we have a festive volunteer session on the 21st at Norton Community Gardens. And that will include a wreath making workshop, general maintenance, and mince pies and mulled wine. Oh no, mulled apple juice, sorry. Not quite as exciting. But yeah, they're all in Rob's report, so if you can have a look at it, and again, share those dates. The Green Heroes poster, I think was supposed to be going out on social media on the website today, but if not today, hopefully tomorrow. And also the tree planting poster should be out as well. So if we can get those done as soon as possible, and as I say, just share them out. Sarah?
What happens if it's like it is today and it's pouring down? Have you?
Yeah, weather permitting.
Oh, it's only weather permitting. It's not going to Off-Stream or anywhere.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I suppose the workshop might, but I don't think so. It very clearly says weather permitting.
Okay, right. I did offer him anything that I had left after we'd done the wreath making.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Because I thought waste not, want not.
Definitely, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's a shame he hasn't got somewhere sheltered to do it if they haven't.
Well, I suppose it's a Saturday. We could do it in the office.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? You know, there we are.
No reason why we can't use this on a Saturday morning.
I don't see why not.
No.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll suggest that to Rob, that we look at, because there's not going to be like hundreds of people. It's probably only going to be sort of, half a dozen or so. We can sit around here.
Free wreath making is a really yeah.
That's true, actually. It could be a bit popular.
When I did mine.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll suggest to Rob that we use this room because people can just sit round at the tables, and that'd be great.
Okie dokie.
Right. So could you make a note of that, and just to tell Rob that for the Christmas volunteering session on the 21st.
I'll send him an email and copy you in.
Yeah, to suggest that we use the office if the weather's awful. Oh, I've just read the last line. Wreath making will move to the council office at the Odd-Stream.
Oh,
He's waiting. Yeah, just say thank you. So that's great, brilliant. Thanks for that. And so it's honestly, John Teams, it's really worth reading this. He does a great job. And, it's got lots of information, keeps us all up to date on everything. Okay, right. Paul has put all the final versions of the budget proposal forms up, and I'm just going to double check against the minutes, but I don't think any of the costs have changed dramatically. Right, so biodiverse schools pilot, it's now 1,640. So, right.
Now, Chair, the minimum I go to is a £50. I don't go down to 40s.
Sorry?
The minimum I go to is £100 or £50. I wouldn't put a £40 in.
Oh, right, okay.
I rounded that one up.
Okay, so are we happy to agree at 1650? Rob's done a detailed cost breakdown, and that's what it comes to. So on the basis that whatever we put in will get cut down anyway, so let's go for it. Okay, next one is
Definitely.
sorry?
Sorry, I just said definitely.
Yeah. Okay, biodiversity crisis. We did actually agree that we would increase this to £1,000 and that we would try and do 2 wards each, per year. So if that could go up to 1,000, Paul,
Yeah,
and
about that.
community plan where it says each ward in turn, it'll be 2 wards per year.
Yeah, okay.
Fab, thanks very much. Next one is EV charging point. So we leave those costs in as provisional costs. Paul will confirm when he's spoken to Swansea Council on Wednesday. Everyone happy
Yep.
with that? Right. Oh, next one is Incredible Edible. We had the cost for that. I don't think they've changed. No, they've checked. They're so 6,300 again. Paul's rounded it up. If everyone's Helen.
It's not an immediate thing. It's something about something else. So I'm happy to wait to come in.
Oh, okay. Right, Mumbles Green Heroes. £1,200 to be able to increase the number of events so that we've got some outdoor events. That's not changed. Repair Cafe is a new one that Rob suggested that we try out running a repair cafe at Ostream. It doesn't actually say how often, but I know I know he discussed this with Helen Hunter at West Cross, and I think the idea was that we would alternate with them. So there would be 1 month at West Cross, 1 month here.
I think it's a lovely idea, Carrie. I'd love to see us doing this. I think even if we do one, just maybe one this year and see how it goes. And if they do one.
Yep. Well, they have run one previously, but then I can't remember, something happened and they sort of had to stop, but they're keen to start again. So yeah, it's only £400, so I think that's well worth putting a bit of budget in. The budget really is just to pay for marketing, posters, staff time, Rob's time arranging the event, and any expenses that we've got related to people coming and setting it up here. Okay, so if we could add that in, you've got it. Brilliant, thanks. Right, SUDS and flood awareness campaign. This is, I think, a really important one because, as we know, Helen.
So this is where I had my hand up for. So I've had a chat with Rob about this. So I think this is a really interesting one and a really important one. I know Phil's got some great ideas as well. And so I just wanted to put my hand up and say, I really feel this would be a good one to take forward. I'm doing loads of work on this at the moment, and I'm connected. I introduced One Voice Wales to the National Flood Forum, who are doing loads of work with particular communities. So I just I'm really keen to keep close to this and help make introductions or help shape it, with others.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Helen. Sarah. You're on mute.
Sorry, I agree with Helen. This is one of the most important things we do. It's all I get now is concern about flooding and side effects of that. The other thing, repair shop. It would be great if we could do one before Christmas about repairing fairy lights.
Good idea.
Well, that might be will end up in bins.
Yes.
I would suggest it to Rob, but I don't know if we'll be able to got time to organise it, but it's worth a go. Helen's got them there waiting.
I don't know how practical it is to do it before Christmas. But I tell you what, I think there'd be a huge queue.
Yes, I bet. Yeah, fairy light repair work would be brilliant.
So
Fantastic.
is that practical? Is that practical? Is that doable? It's
I don't
very
know, I'll
tight.
speak to Rob. I doubt it, but you never know. It depends on the availability of the volunteers who've got expertise in that area.
And this proposal is for next year's budget, so from 1st of April, but if we can find,
We're just looking at what, maybe there's something we can do if we've got a bit of money somewhere.
yeah, there is something we can buy, I think, from climate emergency, because that was going to
Yeah.
be used as well towards an early start on the SUDS scheme project.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do we know anyone who can fix fairy lights?
Well, I think that he linked in with the Repair Cafe at Environment Centre to source the experts. So you never know. We might be able to. I took my clock in to the Environment Centre and they fixed it.
Wow.
It's late. Yeah, now it dings when it's supposed to.
I tell you what, if we knew of someone, not that I am really conscious of Rob's workload and Ash's, right? But if we knew of someone and we just put messages out on WhatsApp saying this person will be in the off stream from 9 until 4, 9 until 2 or whatever the time is, I think we'll have no problem filling it.
Probably should be Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Probably what we, being a
If
party
you could note that,
pooper,
Ian, that we will,
whether
to
it's
speak to Rob about whether there's any possibility of a fairy light repair workshop before Christmas. Yeah, that would, I think ours, well, no, I was gonna say, if I say ours are all right, you guarantee I'll take them out of the box and they won't work, so. Fantastic, right, so that's budget proposal sorted. Paul, anything else we need to do on that?
Yeah, we need to run through the rest of the budget now to put in what figures the committee wants to put in for next year.
Right,
So
okay.
if we go up to the top, we've got civic amenities, 2,500 in the current year. Probably will be a demand for it next year, I guess, as well. So whether that's to be repeated.
Yeah, we'll leave it in for now. Definitely bulbs and wildflower planting. We definitely need that.
So happy with £300 per ward?
Helen.
I really feel that there's slightly two things on there. So the bulb planting, I think that's so easy to do. I feel there's a big ask for it. And I even if you went up to £500 per ward, I think you'd spend it. I think it's one of the easiest things to do, which has one of the highest sort of levels of public satisfaction, if I can use that phrase. I think the wildflower planting is the thing that meant to have the big budget, and again, I think there's a lot of call for that as well. So I feel those are really tangible things that we kind of feel we can all get on with quite quickly.
Yeah, but the problem is if we take that, if we don't, if we up that, what are we going to cut? Because we've got lots of new things. We've got to be realistic.
Sorry.
Yeah.
On my screen, I can't see, because obviously it's a shared screen. I can't see any of the figures, anything below Castlewoods. It's got a funny welcome to Excel Live.
Right. Can you scroll up just so? Can you see? Can you go up a bit? There. Can you see that now?
No, I wonder if there's something on my.
Yeah, I'm running on my screen.
I can see it. Done it.
Okay, good.
Okay. So bottle fillers, do we still need that?
Yeah, if we can work down through it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bulbs is the first one. Are you happy to leave it at 1,200 for now? Because I think this is the first year it's gone up to 300 per ward.
Yeah, let's leave it to that for now. We might come back if we think we can squeeze a bit more in. Jubilee Gardens, I mean, obviously we've got the grant for the rest of this year, but we do need to put something in you know, is there a bit more grant expenditure in 24? No.
No, it's all
Yeah.
got to be spent by the end of March.
Doesn't it? So we got nothing to take forward.
Yeah, we have a budget for £100, so that can go in again. So whether that would be sufficient, or we
unless Rob's got any urgent need for more, let's stick to that for now. School
okay.
eco grants, we've replaced that with Rob's biodiverse schools pilot.
Right, okay. Sarah's waving.
I'm
Sarah.
waving. Hasn't Rob got some of his own finance that he could perhaps do whatever needs to be done maintenance wise to Jubilee Gardens next year?
Yeah, that's further down. Yeah, Rob and Ash have both got £2,000.
So surely he could use that if need. There shouldn't be that much needed to be done apart from physical maintenance. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it just seems, you know, like once you lose it, like, you know, it's hard to put it back.
Yes.
Only £100. Let's leave it at that for now.
But I think,
Yeah.
like Helen, that the bulbs are a win-win, and I think Oystermouth and Newton will think the same, as well as Males and West Cross. That extra bulbs planted cheers everybody up. You know, there we go. Just a thought. What am I doing?
Right.
Okay, so the next one.
Sorry, Paul.
I was going to say the next one then is Rob's budget, the environmental officer's budget. That's £2,000.
I think we have
again next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, do you think the schools are going to kind of, because obviously we're moving to this new schools pilot, but that's not going to be with all the schools.
No, it was only one school, I think. But we took it out in the current year anyway, because of the issues that Lydia was having in getting schools to...
Well, that's my concern, is it is hard work. I mean, but will the schools suddenly sort of be complaining if they don't get it?
I'm not aware of them complaining this year. Obviously, some governor representatives may be aware of it.
Well, they did all finally get it this year, didn't they?
Yeah,
no, that was last year.
That was last year's budget.
Yeah, it was last year. It was taken out of this year's budget back in January.
We'll leave it then. We'll leave it as out, and we'll look at other ways of engaging with the schools.
Okay.
Geo resources, yes. Grassford scheme. To be honest, I think we should probably pause that for a year. Or reduce it. We definitely need some money to repair Fairwood Road because that really didn't work. So perhaps if we just leave, say, £500 in for next year.
Is the Newton Ward do a scheme next year?
I can't think. I mean, I have driven around Newton Ward and I couldn't actually see anywhere where there's any grass verges in Newton.
Okay.
So I kind of stopped at that point. If there's an outcry, they can always put it back in January, can't they, if Newton councillors rebel? But I think for now, we'll say, Helen, yes?
So in terms of the grass verge scheme, I think on schemes, I feel, you know, we should ask them before we take it out, because I don't think it looks good.
Yeah, the thing is that, as I explained before, the grass verge scheme isn't about wards. At the moment, we have 2 areas in West Cross and we're discussing one in Males. We've got nothing in Oystermouth, we've got nothing in Newton.
Yeah, so can we keep it in then, is my point.
For what?
For other wards, for Oystermouth or for Newton.
But it's not done on wards, it's done on where there is spaces to do it. And I've just said there isn't anywhere in Newton. So what's the point in leaving the money in? And I mean, Oystermouth, I would struggle to find anywhere really in Oystermouth.
I thought that the frontage scheme, I thought that was an Oystermouth, in Oystermouth ward.
No, it's actually in West Cross.
So you can't think of anywhere else in Oystermouth?
I can, but just for this year, I don't think it's going to cause any major problem if we pause it for a year. I think we've got other priorities. You
Okay,
know,
so
like
can I-
the floods
can I-
and
Can I
flooding.
double check? Can I double check for West Cross then? Because we, in Males, we're in a high kind of footfall traffic area. So we've got, we know we can use all of the money that have been put in other locations. I know you're concerned about West Cross sorting that out about the bottom of Fairwood Road. And I think I'm just really keen to make sure that in Males we get a good wad of cash that other areas have had. And if Sarah and Phil are keen
Ward
for
by ward,
West
I
Cross,
can
I wouldn't want them to
explain,
lose out
it's not-
either.
It's not allocations per ward, it's allocations on areas. And the areas that were identified were Fairwood Road, Mumbles Prom and Males Road. Those were the three areas. There was never any intention to take it beyond that.
So
When
can I
Maggie
ask,
did the initial work,
does Sarah feel content that she's got the money she needs for West Cross?
Sarah.
What about Pickett's Mead in Newton? Can't
Well, I
we do
did wonder
some-
that, but they put the Swansea Council wildflowers all the way along.
Oh, and they've been sprayed with stuff.
I know, but
Oh,
as we know, that's
Yeah,
not, it's out of our hands, so.
Okay, okay. I wouldn't worry, Carrie, about repairing the stuff, the wildflowers, and it'll get.
Well, I feel we do need something in Fairwood Road. I think it's important because again, it's a
I
through
think
road.
what I'll do, Carrie, is I've planted some daffodils along there. The council have planted daffodils along there for me. I've paid. And I'll
Okay.
just add bulbs as we go along each year. But no,
Sure.
don't worry about it. It's not worth
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Right, so can we agree that we take the Grassford scheme out and maybe in exchange we up bulbs and wildflower planting to £2,000?
Yeah.
How's that, Paul?
Yeah, that's fine.
So that goes up to 2,000, Grassford goes to 0. Phew. Right, Castle Woods, as I say, fingers crossed it will all happen this year. We don't have to put any more money in. Bottle fillers, I would leave as nothing, because as far as I'm aware, when the prom is finally finished, I think there was certainly an original intention to put water fillers in as part of that. So I would suggest we hold off, see what Swansea Council are planning to do before we actually look at doing any more for ourselves. Does that sound sensible? Yeah. Okay, Norton Nature Reserve, yeah, can we leave 1,000 in for that? Because it is obviously, there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done ongoing.
Yep, okay.
Keep the groundsperson resources as it is.
What about climate emergency? 5,000?
Sorry, yes, because, well, we were going to use that for the SUDS. So I'm kind of reluctant to take it out in case we don't get the funding for the SUDS. But if we get the funding for the SUDS, then we probably, let's reduce it down to 1,000. So at least we've got something if the SUDS gets turned down. Sarah?
Okay.
Is that wise? You're taking what, the climate change money out and putting it into just 1,000?
Well, yeah, but we're also asking for quite a significant sum for the SUDS and flood, which is part of the climate emergency.
Which basically
anyway.
affects all of the wards under Mumbles. I don't think you'll have as much pushback as you think if we keep it up and say we don't know how much SUDS is going to cost, and this could be the very year that we need to use the climate emergency money and the other money. It just seems.
We've got £3,500 in for SUDS and flood defences.
But there's no
I just-
guarantee that's going to get approved, is there? I think that's the risk that Sarah's.
There's no
Yeah,
guarantee.
that, yeah.
They nearly threw climate emergency out last year. Don't forget, it's only really us who actually register it. For everyone else, I think it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I know, but I think everyone is now suffering from the flooding problems. I know that Francesca was talking.
Well, okay, let's leave it in for now, but if we get the SUDS money through, we can afford to be magnanimous with that when we're looking to offer something up.
Because
to
I
cut
think that the general
James.
Cook thing is that we sit on the money and we don't do anything. But if Rob is
I
going to
know.
be doing stuff, well,
It is
you know,
important.
so
Phil,
Yeah, I got to go with the. Sorry, could you mute that?
Yeah.
I got to go with the issue that we've got. We've sat on this climate emergency money since we announced the climate emergency. As far as the SUDS and flood awareness campaign, we should be starting that this year with this money.
we're going to use that 5,000, some of that 5,000 for it.
Right. And realistically speaking, that needs to be spent this year to show that it's needed to be kept in at £5,000.
Yeah. Sounds sensible. Yeah. Helen?
If we are wanting to show spend with that money, and we want to spend that money in a way that doesn't incur loads and loads of work, I wonder whether we use it for items like sandbags or water butts and things that are going to, one, reduce surface water, and obviously green infrastructure. You know, I don't know enough to know with green infrastructure what we could buy quickly, but certainly like with water
Sorry,
butts.
can I just stop you, Helen, because we've got climate emergency action on the agenda, that we're talking here about the budget, not what we're going to spend this year's money on. What we're agreeing is whether we keep it in for next year.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay, it's just that I'm conscious Sarah and Phil are going to leave any minute, then we won't be for it, and we won't have finished the budget.
Crap, let's crack on.
I know. Right, grant person, yes, 2,000 again. I think that's important for Ash to have that resource available. Buzz and Bloom, are we all right with 300? Do we need a bit more to do a bit more kind of publicity and things? About the same. I think Phil's waving an arm saying keep it the same. 500, yeah. Gardeners question time, yeah, keep 500 in again. It's proved very popular. We're doing it again this March, and that would be good to have money in for next year. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Hey!
That gives you a budget of 48,700. So I think what we need is the committee to resolve that. That's the amount that is recommended to council in January.
Right, well, sorry, just before we do that, what is it this year?
43,500.
Right, so
Well, that includes 6,000 for Klein Gardens.
Well, but if we gloss over that, so we can make a big thing in January of the fact that we have reduced our budget.
I know it's gone up slightly. It's gone up slightly with the budget proposals. The biggest one, obviously, being the electric vehicle.
Yes. So without that, we'd be very, very good. We'd be very.
Well, in effect, what you've done is you've dropped 20,000 for the paths, and you added 19,400 for the vehicle. But whether that'll be a good argument, I'm not sure.
Well, it's worth a try. Right,
Yeah.
is there Helen? Not Helen. Sorry, Sarah.
well, the electric vehicle is going to be used for all different things, not just environmental. So I think that's the way to push that one. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, are we happy to approve that as our proposal to go into the budget meeting in January? Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. Right, okay, so that's a big chunk of work done. Fantastic. So,
Yes, thank you, everybody.
right, thanks, Paul. Thanks for doing that. That's great. Right, Phil, Be Friendly Streets project. I'm kind of looking to you to what do you want us to do?
So the Be Friendly Streets project has always been one about education and encouraging people to take the steps that they need to do in their own gardens to improve biodiversity, but also to explain what we've agreed in Males and West Cross when it comes to not spraying our streets. And people taking a bit of an interest and in the flora and fauna that occurs in the pavements and gutters and what have you. And also for us to know when we can pull those weeds or whatever, or when we need to get the CWAT team onto them. So the Be Friendly Streets project needs to get busy with some information, and I think a leaflet drop would probably be the best.
Right.
So it's
So
a case
could
of
we
us having
use some climate emergency money to do some promotion?
exactly. So what we need to do is get Rob to sit down with us, get some articles put together for a leaflet, and actually get an environmental Be Friendly Streets pamphlet, if you like, or you know, a sort of folded leaflet or something or other out, and then we actually put that out over next season. So from you know, late winter, early spring onwards.
So we start sort of something we aim to sort of start having something about February.
Yeah, I mean West Cross and Males.
Yeah.
And then this is what we're doing here, and we hope Oystermouth and Newton will join in. And even if people live in Oystermouth and Newton, there are steps that they can take within their gardens and on their streets to help.
Okay, Sarah.
Yeah, I've had a conversation with Rob about this, and I thought also perennials. I'm constantly taking cuttings, as you know, Carrie, and giving a lot of them away, along to people who otherwise, when they're gardening, it's cheaper to have a cutting given to you or something, isn't it? It can be expensive to garden. So I just thought, why don't we ask other gardeners? Because gardeners love doing cuttings, don't they? And we'll have the greenhouse set up in Norton Nature Reserve, so we have more room for overflow, and offer to swap shop, bring the plants, and if people haven't got, they can
do like a plant sale, but not sale.
Exactly. And just for Be Friendly Streets to say, these are for your front gardens, let's make a bee super highway.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a plant sale without money.
Yeah, quite.
A sort of plant giveaway. Yeah, that'd be great. We could have it down in Norton Nature Reserve.
Yeah, only the bees profit.
Yep, that's good. And the wasps, but we'll let them off. Helen.
I think that's a really lovely idea about coming back to this project and doing more. I think the leaflet idea is a good one. I would like to, you know, that leaflet needs to be really pretty, and maybe there's an opportunity for some really nice, you know, little drawings of some of the things that, you know, like weeds but not weeds. So I think that leaflet needs to be done quite well, and it needs to be really attractive and feel, you know. And didn't Dan, the videographer, he did a little logo for us last time for free. In terms of how we get that leaflet out, I'm not sure, because, you know, are we saying we're going to put one through everyone's door? Because that's a huge undertaking. Oh, you are? Crumbs, okay.
Philip Pierce, say yes. I don't know.
I do think we need to get it to every house in West Cross and Males, but it can be done over a season.
Right.
You know. And,
yeah. Anyway.
We could even target schools, to start off with, and then
Yeah, my
you know,
view would be
Sergey's-
we can start by putting it out through the schools.
Yeah.
That would be a
Could I
good start.
suggest, though, Chair, that we actually also, I know it's great about the wildflowers, but actually push the fact there's lots of flowers that gardeners grow that are good for pollinators.
Yeah.
And they're pretty and they're lovely. And we're waiting for the
Absolutely.
door to knock and our relatives
Yeah,
to turn up.
yeah.
I'll be quiet.
Okay, sorry, Phil, did you want? No. Okay, so that's something, so there is an action there, Ian, which is perhaps for, Rob to have the conversation with Phil.
Yeah, I've got that. Thank you, Chair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brilliant, thanks very much. Right, Mumble Screen Heroes, just to remind you of the date, Tuesday the 3rd of December, Underhill Hub. You know, spread the word and remind people if they can sign up on
Is there a
Eventbrite.
chance for the lift? Because Phil won't be here, and if the weather's like this, it's miserable, Mark.
Yeah, I can come and pick you up, no problem.
Well, I was going to say, or if you're passing Helen that way, or any that'd be
Yeah.
great. That'd be lovely. I'll put my name down then. Fab.
Yeah, no, yeah, we'll make sure you get there one way or another. Okay, that's great. So that's that. Environmental Green Fair. It was, I mean, I did Sunday. Diane came as well, and she shared the stall with me, which was great. Gave me a chance to go and do my Christmas shopping. I mean, obviously not everybody who comes is from Mumbles, but it kind of puts us on the map. And there was interest from people in sort of what we were doing in terms of, oh, we could do that in, you know, the place wherever they were from. There was someone from Clace who was talking about looking at things around the, you know, community orchards and stuff. So yeah, you know, all it cost us was the price of a stall and, you know, some of Rob's time. So, you know, I think it was worth it for that, and it just does give us a bit of promotion. Sarah.
Yeah, no, I agree. The few hours I was there with Rob on Saturday.
Oh, of course, you went Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, and it was really positive. There was a number of people coming from different places and going, "Oh, this is good. How do we get stuff like this done?" Yes, and also people who are from different areas who are interested in volunteering, especially for the orchard. So that captured their imagination. So that'd be good.
Yeah, the orchard definitely seemed to be something that, as you say, kind of people were attracted to.
Yeah, I think when we said there's a climate emergency, when we proclaimed that, I think we have to do the environmental stuff then, don't we? We do have to be seen to be doing it. Otherwise people go, why did they say it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why we can never not have a climate emergency budget. It's just that, you know, I did suggest it could go down, but we'll keep it in for now. So yeah, great. Overall, excellent. Right. Climate emergency action. We need to get started on actually maybe the ideas were a workshop, publicity, something. So I think this is something we need to sit down. Whoever's interested, I know Sarah is definitely, myself, Rob, and see if we can actually put something together that we can then implement after Christmas. Yep. So that's an action to.
The work, sorry, Chair, is that part of the steering group as well then? Is that a separate item?
No, it's separate from the big climate league. This is for us to just, make a start on what we're going to do. Helen, then Sarah.
So yeah, sorry. So as I said, loads going on in work on this at the moment, and we're connected with and speaking to lots of really central organisations at a national level, not a local level. And I think if MCC were to do an event around flooding, even though it's wider than flooding, but just call it that, I think there'd be huge interest.
Right.
And I think, you know, focusing on the kind of practical preventative things that people can do, not just obviously from a green infrastructure perspective, but broader than that. Because when I was speaking at this launch of a flood report, and I mentioned the fact that I couldn't get sandbags in October when those floods happened, and my friend came up to me, who's a flood expert, and said, "Oh, Helen, it's actually duct tape is loads more effective." So I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that." So I think there's like green infrastructure things that we want to push, but then there's those practical things that we want to push, and I think the MCC should hopefully be positioning itself as an organization, like, you know, just saying we're going to get some sandbags, we're going to you know, people to feel like we're on their side. And then there's the wider issue of like some communities are developing local flood action plans. And it's how we are more organised in Mumbles, so people really feel that we've got their backs, and that obviously links to the county council and other things.
That we could work towards is an MCC flood action plan.
Yeah. So there's the National Flood Forum, who I introduced Lynn Cadwallader to the other day. They're like UK based. And so I spoke to them on Friday with Lynn and talked about local flood action plans and what resources they have. And I said, oh, like, that would be brilliant for Mumbles if we could have one of them. So they've got lots of examples of communities that have done one. So I think I'm just really interested in exploring how we can use them. It might cost to use them, or how can we use their resources, which are free, to maybe develop a flood action plan in Mumbles where the communities feel like we're on top of this issue and we've got their back. And we're doing that in a nature first way, but also realising that people might need duct tape and sandbags.
Yes, absolutely. Right, Sarah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it was terrifying that time when we had the really heavy rain a month or so ago, because the rain was actually, we were cut off. Mumbles was cut off. I was there saying, can we have sandbags? I said, we can't get them to you. Sorry, you are on your own. So we had sandbags now in West Cross. But as they said, they really want to encourage people to get their own sandbags, buy sand, get the bags for B&Q and fill their own sandbags. It's a case of knowing that this is going to happen to you. So I think it's about empowering people. I think water butts, and being able to get people to get water butts at a reduced rate, if we could work with Swansea Council, that'd be amazing. What I was going to say was training, the fact that Rob is putting in a rain garden in Jubilee Gardens. We should really push that, because there might be a lot of people who want to come down to see how to put in a rain garden. So it's a really good teaching experience there.
That's a good idea, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Fab. So Helen.
I've just typed.
What about? You're now on mute. You've muted yourself. You weren't on mute, and then you.
Sorry. Yeah, so I've been sent a link. We're in touch with Dwyr Cymru a lot, and then somebody sent me a link saying Dwyr Cymru are offering to install free water butts. I'm meant to organise that for myself, but I haven't got round to it. I googled it and saw some negative reviews of people saying, "Oh, they didn't turn up." Yeah, so I felt like I needed to test it myself before telling too many other people. But I think getting people to understand that surface runoff is like the major problem that we've got in Mumbles. It's not necessarily river flooding like in Ponty or anything like that. It's surface water runoff, and we, you know, how can we help people mitigate the amount of water going through the drains? So I do know somebody, you know, quite sort of senior in Dwyr Cymru, and I'd be meaning to email him to say, could we do something strategic? What can you give us? Could you come to an event with us? So Alan Shermer.
Okay, so we'll try and fix a meeting, Helen, Sarah, me, Rob, to sort of get a programme of action that we can get implemented. And as you say, the sooner the better, you know, because it ain't going to go away. Fab. Right, we're almost finished. Fly tipping action Wales, this toolkit that we need, Rob here, because I think he's the one who knows about it. So we'll wait for next month for that. West Cross Shed, I say, has gone to the cats, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't think the cats are actually going to live in it. I think it's going to be to store their food and stuff in.
I've got to go. I've got to go.
Yep, I know. I say we're nearly finished. So fabulous. Thanks, Sarah. Right. So we just can't update the skate park anyway because that's up to Chris Evans and he's not here.
Oh, sorry, it's Phil left as well.
Yes.
So we're not.
No, that's okay.
Stop recording.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes. So that's it. We've ticked almost everything off on the list before we weren't quorate. So